This is an article I wrote titled Trials of the Messengers and Remnant. A proven messenger. A messenger who has not been proven through trials is not a mature or trusted messenger. A parrot can repeat a message, but repeating a message does not make the parrot a messenger. A proven messenger must be proven faithful in order to be trusted to carry the message of the king. A true messenger will suffer on behalf of the king and his kingdom, so that the message of the king will be formed in the messenger. The messenger must become the message. If the messenger does not become the message they carry does not possess the authority to transform believers into the royal priesthood. Jesus, as the Son of Man, became the message of his Father. Jesus embraced rejection and persecution as a messenger of the Father. He agreed to a relatively short 3.5-year public ministry and an embarrassing public death. Through all this, he never doubted or drew back from the Father. He is our example. Jesus spoke of the importance of keeping our lamps burning for the Lord. Luke 12:35. John was a burning lamp for the Messiah. Luke 13, verses 35. But something happened in his heart when he was in prison. This is possibly one of the scariest things that can happen to a messenger. A messenger can be a burning lamp, hear the word of the Lord, deliver his message, and then begin to fall away during a season of severe trials. The Father would prefer that we learn from John the Baptist. The Holy Spirit would like us to understand the nature of these trials so that we do not begin to lose our focus as John did. John was given great grace to know who the Son of God was and to point to him. The Father told John that the Holy Spirit would descend upon the Christ, and John witnessed this in the Spirit. John 1:29 through 34. Because this grace was given to John, much would be required of him. John would be required to fully believe and trust the Lord because he was both told and shown. To doubt the Lord after these revelations would be considered a great sin. John's mind started to be darkened by the enemy while he was in prison. Demonic forces can infiltrate and inject poison into our minds if we do not fight back with rebuke and prayer. John most likely believed that the Messiah would begin to rule Israel and would protect all his followers. Yet John was abandoned in prison, and he probably knew that he would be killed soon. John had once seen and heard the Father so clearly, but now he was struggling to even believe that Jesus was the Messiah, the Son of God. Powerful miracles were happening, and Jesus had just raised a man from the dead. Luke 7:11 through 17. John's own disciples were amazed and went to tell John all that the Messiah had done. Luke 7:18 through 23. John's disciples informed him about all these things. So John called 2 of his disciples and sent them to Jesus to ask, "Are you the one who is to come, or should we look for another?" When the men came to Jesus, they said, "John the Baptist has sent us to ask, 'Are you the one who's to come, or should we look for another?'" At that very time, Jesus cured many people of diseases, sicknesses, and evil spirits, and granted sight to many who were blind. So he answered them, "Go tell John what you have seen and heard. The blind see, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, the poor have the good news proclaimed to them. Blessed is anyone who takes no offense at me." What John the Baptist could have said to his disciples when they came to tell him about the miracle is, "See, the Son of God is here and doing the works of the Father." Instead, John tells them to go ask Jesus if he is even the one they are expecting. This could have sown doubt in the hearts of those he was leading. Jesus addresses the issue in John's heart: offense. John was not being delivered from prison as he thought he would be. John's life and ministry were not going the way he expected. The Son of God, the Messiah, was not doing what John expected him to do. John was offended by what the Lord wasn't doing. The offense was causing bitterness in John's soul. The poisoning was causing John to doubt the Lord. The very messenger who had heard and seen directly from the Father was now offended and doubting. The exact same testing and trials are occurring right now with the messengers and with the remnant church. There has been a divine delay to test us. Many of us are in positions similar to John the Baptist. That which has been prophesied, that which has been revealed through the Word, and that which has been personally spoken by the Holy Spirit is not happening. The delay has been so long and so harsh that some have been, are being, and tempted to doubt everything the Lord has done and said. We are all going through different circumstances in our individual trials, but the attack of the enemy is the same. Did God really say? The enemy wants us to give in to temptation and doubt and become offended with the Lord. Satan's plan is to put us in a pit so darkened by offense and hopelessness that we remain trapped and forfeit the will of God. Satan is attempting to prevent the remnant church from coming forth in the glory of God. At one time, you were so confident in what the Lord was saying and doing. Your heart was full with the Lord's purpose and burning for his kingdom. And just like John, your testimony was full of fire and conviction. John 1:32 through 34. Then John testified, I saw the Spirit descending like a dove from heaven, and it remained on him. And I did not recognize him, but the one who sent me to baptize with water said to me, the one on whom you see the Spirit descending and remaining, this is the one who baptizes with the Holy Spirit. I have both seen and testified that this man is the chosen one of God. Recently, many in the remnant have been tempted to turn back. Our expectations have been crushed, and the Lord has not done things as we expected. John felt alone and abandoned in prison. Many believers have felt disconnected from the revelation of the Holy Spirit and from the presence of God. During these times of difficult testing, we may not be feeling, hearing, or seeing properly. It is during these times that we have to find the grace of the Lord within us and trust who he is. We have to put our faith in his character and nature. We know he's a good father, and we must abide in that revelation. Resist the temptation to be overcome by offense, disappointment, and discouragement. The Lord is doing an internal work in us during this season. We cannot see what he is doing or all the progress that is taking place because the pain of the season is so intense. The Lord is increasing in us if we yield to his will and to the suffering that he is allowing in this season. We cannot overcome the darkness that attacks of the enemy in our own strength. Only Christ in us is greater than the evil one who's in the world. Only Christ in us can overcome and bring us through this season of trial. The Lord is working his endurance and overcoming nature in us. If we are going to rule and reign with him, we have to allow the overcomer to come forth in us and overcome this current season of suffering. We cannot doubt the Lord now. He is the one to come, and we are not looking for another. Jesus is King. Jesus is overcomer. Jesus lives in us, his remnant. We must choose to trust him and trust his process.